high line, and it seems high line will not work where there's an Ademola Lookman and the rest of the gang. I mean,
let's quickly move on to the Spanish, Copa del Rey semi-finals. The first leg with Barcelona getting trashed by Atletico 4-0, and our very own Ademola Lookman, bagging a brace and a goal. What exactly do you make of Atletico Madrid in that match yesterday?
I think Atletico Madrid they were unplayable. Unfortunately, Ikenna is not here today. I would have probably wanted to hear his thoughts. I mean, because he's a huge Barcelona fan, I would have probably want to hear his thoughts. Because I mean, when we were here on Wednesday, he said, and I told him, I said, I want Atletico Madrid to win because of Ademola Lookman. I want Ademola Lookman to score.
Win.
Yeah, I want Atletico Madrid to win. I want Ademola Lookman to score. He said, no, that will not happen. Barcelona can do it and the rest of that. And I said something on that particular episode that, a Barcelona playing a high line against an Ademola Lookman, a Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann might come back to bite them in the butt. I will take you back to the game between Barcelona and Real Madrid earlier this season. In that particular game, Real Madrid won that game. I mean the league game now, not the other cup that they went to play in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. The league game that Mbappe ended up scoring 2 goals and they won 2-1 or 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. In that particular game, Mbappe scored about 3 goals that were ruled offside because of the high line Barcelona were playing.
Offside, yes.
Yeah, there is a downside to you playing a high line. Yeah, there is a downside of you playing a very high line.
I think
yeah, there is a downside of you playing a very high line, and if you are playing against intelligent players that can time their run very well, you are going to have a problem. This their defender, Gerard Martin, or what's he called? Their captain that's out injured now, is also a factor in playing the high line successfully. No, is it no Arojo, the guy that plays in the center of defense? I think his name is Gerard Martinez or something like that. I think Gerard Martin. Yeah. I think he's injured at the moment. That's why you have another player stepping in for him. The guy is very, very instrumental in coordinating the high line. If that guy is not there, Barcelona always has a problem in terms of coordinating the high line. I understand that Flick has a philosophy, and the philosophy is playing a high line. You don't play a high line against an Atletico Madrid. And sometimes these coaches are so stubborn. When you are playing the high line and you've considered 2 goals, why not change your tactics to curtail the situation? Yeah. You continue to play a high line. Somebody even got recorded in that particular game to show how frustrating it was for them. So I think Diego Simeone, did his homework very well. I think there is no way of stopping Atletico Madrid. Even if they play the second leg, probably even if Barcelona win, I don't think they can win with a 4-goal margin without Atletico scoring. I think Atletico is already in the final. And kudos to Ademola Lookman. He has hit the ground running. One of my concerns was, when players switch country, my concern is always them settling in. But he has shown that he can settle in very fast. This will be the second goal he's scoring. The last game they lost, he even scored in that particular game, but it was disallowed for offside. So I mean, he has scored again for Atletico Madrid, and he's also instrumental in providing assists. That is how important he is. So kudos to Atletico Madrid. They've done their job very well, and kudos to our own man Ademola Lookman for hitting the ground running. I think as tomorrow sun will rise, we'll see Atletico Madrid in the finals. In the Copa del Rey finals.
So thank you very much. I'm going to take you up on 2 things actually. Barcelona's eye line and Ademola Lookman's impressive outing. But let's quickly talk about Ademola Lookman, for instance. Considering all the transfer saga that happened with Atalanta, almost going to Fenerbahce, and he eventually comes to Atletico Madrid, you would have expected, or you would have thought that might have affected him coming into this new team. And you also think, how exactly is he going to play in this Atletico Madrid squad? But just as you have said, he has hit the ground running. And quick one, how do you see him evolve in this team going forward? Because he has obviously had a very, very impressive outing 3 matches, he has scored 2 goals, 2 assists, brilliant performance all round. What exactly do you make of Ademola Lookman's, output in this Atletico Madrid team, and how do you see him evolving in the next few matches going forward?
I think what Ademola Lookman is doing is making it very difficult for Simeone to keep him out of the team. Most players, when they sign them, they give them time, they ease them into the team. You see them play 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and the rest of that. However, with what he has done so far, I mean, four goal contribution, 2 assists, 2 goals in literally 3 games. That is the definition of hitting the ground running. He has played him, as far as I'm concerned, he has played himself into the team. The big question now we need to ask is this: can he consistently maintain that same form? That is the big question we need to ask. Remember, while he was with Atlanta, there was a particular period that he suffered loss in form, and that resulted in him being benched. So the big question is this: can he be, can we guarantee that he will continue, he will be consistent with this kind of form? However, so far so good. I think the way he's playing at the moment, if Ademola Lookman does not play, the fans will turn against Diego Simeone. And kudos should also go to Diego Simeone also. He has also evolved his team. Before, Diego Simeone's side is a pragmatic side, very dogged in defense. They play aram football, like they call it in local parlance, aram football. But now he has evolved. In the last 2 seasons, he has evolved. He's now more attacking minded. Atletico Madrid now score goal for fun. Imagine Atletico Madrid 4 years ago scoring 4 goals against Barcelona. It's impossible. Now we are seeing it. And Ademola Lookman fits into that particular plan. That is why he's succeeding at the moment.
Brilliant. I like that you touched on the fact that Atletico Madrid are now very much attack minded, because prior to now, we see Atletico Madrid score 1-0 and it's low block till the end of the match, completely defensive all round. And as you said, yes, Ademola Lookman fits perfectly into the attacking minded philosophy of this present Atletico Madrid side. That's beautiful. Now, quick one. Rafinha was absent in yesterday's match. Do you think that his absence also contributed to Barca's loss? That's one. And 2, do you think that Barca can do a remontada in the second leg of the semi-final? Do you think that would happen? So, yes, let me just quickly get your opinion on that. Do you think that Rafinha's absence mattered in that match, and do you also think that Barca can do a remontada?
I think Rafinha has been in fantastic form. Any Rafinha not playing is a great miss, especially to the attack. There is this synergy between Rafinha and Lamine Yamal that has developed over the years. They have a way of they have this telepathic connection that is second to none. So if you don't have a Rafinha playing, definitely you are going to see the effect on the attack. And yesterday, you could see that. To be honest with you, Atletico Madrid had a field day yesterday. Apart from the fact that they were able to take advantage of the high line, the defense of Atletico Madrid was not so much under pressure yesterday, if we are being honest. Because, I mean, if Rafinha was there, he would have created a whole lot of opportunity. And Rafinha has a way of attracting players towards him. You attract 1 or 2 players, gives room for, Lamine Yamal to be able to make his cuts in and probably get an opportunity to shoot and score. So definitely, Rafinha was greatly missed in that particular game. In the case of a remontada, well, we have seen teams do it before, but I don't think a Barcelona side can do it. And the reason is very simple. And I'm not saying this because Atletico Madrid has scored 4 goals. Let's visit the start this season. How many times has Atletico Madrid considered 3 goals throughout this season? I can count on my fingers. Maybe 1 or twice. Maybe 1 or 2 times. So, in as much as Simeone is now more attacking minded, he's also taking cognizance of his defense. They are not leaking goals. Before the basis of Simeone's game is total defense, right? Now he has built another layer on it, which is also attack. It's not a team that concedes goals with reckless abandon. Sometimes it happens, it happens to the best of teams that you just have a bad day and you concede terrible goals and just all that. But if you look at the numbers and the start this season, I don't think a Barcelona side will be able to score 4 goals. Will they score in the second leg? Yes, definitely Barcelona might score 1 or 2 goals. But scoring 4 and overturning the result, I don't think it's going to happen. So I don't think a remontada will happen.
Oh, brilliant! I mean, this is an Atletico side that puts 5 past Real Madrid in the league phase. Again, just as you have said, Diego Simeone has been able to put another layer in his football philosophy, because you do not see Atletico Madrid scoring 5 goals that easily, coming into this season. He has obviously evolved, and that's quite beautiful. Now, we talk about Barcelona's eye line, right? We had a Jules Koundé, Pau Kubasi, Eric Garcia, and Eric Balde in the defensive lineup for Barcelona yesterday. But now that Eric Garcia has been red carded, he got a red card in the match yesterday. You mentioned that coaches are stubborn in their philosophy, right? And someone like Hansi Flick, for instance, despite the fact that teams are beginning to find a way to beat the eye line, they still maintain a 76% winning percentage this season, right? They've maintained a 70% win rate. How exactly do you think that Barcelona should put up their defense going into the match against Atletico Madrid in the second leg, knowing fully well that they have to try as much as possible to not concede and then overturn a 4-goal deficit? What exactly do you make of Barca's tactics moving into the second leg of the Copa del Rey?
Well, the hallmark of a good coach is, trying to adapt to situations. That is the hallmark of a good coach. You are playing against a team that has shown that they can score goals with reckless abandon. This is not the first time an Atletico Madrid is scoring more than 3 goals in a match. I would have expected that Andy Marshall, that usually, marshal the high line defense, is currently not available. He has not been available for a long time, right? Yes, in some games that you feel you have enough quality to overpower the team, yes, go ahead and play your high line. But in some games, there is a need for you to be pragmatic and look at the team you are playing. You are playing against an Atletico Madrid side. I think it's very disrespectful for Hansi Flick to think he will probably play a high line against that star-studded front line of Atletico Madrid and go scot-free with it. Remember, he's also missing a Rafinha that can do damage at the other end. You cannot score goals, meaning that you cannot peg back Atletico Madrid for a long time. The reason why high line usually works is this: if you are playing a high line, you create little spaces. You are creating little spaces for other teams to operate with, right? And also your attack is constantly with the ball, pegging back the opponent. Pegging back the opponent, and that does not give them the opportunity to be able to attack you. That is the reason why a high line usually works. But the moment you don't have the potency in front, the moment the potency is no longer there, it gives room for the opposing side to play with. Hansi Flick understands this. That is why he used to adopt a pragmatic approach. It's not all the time you play a high line. Sometimes even a Guardiola that we are talking about, sometimes change his tactics based on the team he's playing. He doesn't do positioning play when he faces some teams. We have seen coach do it, but Hansi Flick is very obstinate. He has this what they call agidi in Yoruba. He has this stubbornness of sticking to a particular plan. And I don't think if he sticks to that same plan again in the second leg, he has no chance than to go all out and attack. And that will play into the hands of Atletico Madrid, to be honest with you.
All out and attack, yeah. Wait, I was just about to mention that if Barcelona has to go all out to attack in the second leg of the semi-finals, Atletico Madrid have a front line of Griezmann, Alvarez, Ademola Lookman, even Simeone, and a Marcos Llorente that knows how to go forward as well. And if Griezmann or Alvarez is taken out, we have a Solot that can come in and also bang in goals that are very, very much needed. Again, do you think that it's job done for Atletico Madrid at this point, or do you think that it's yes? Do you think that it's job done for Atletico Madrid at this point? Again, knowing fully well that there's a huge possibility that Diego Simeone might be leaving Atletico Madrid and he might not be able to win the La Liga this season, right? Of course, he would want to leave with a trophy. Do you think that Atletico Madrid has what it takes to go all the way to win the Copa del Rey and clinch a trophy for Simeone, probably in his last season as Atletico Madrid's coach?
Well, I think they have what it takes to be able to win. The first leg is a testament to the kind of damage they can do. Dispatching a Barcelona side with reckless abandon shows the kind of quality that they possess. If I'm being honest, I think it's job done. I don't think I see Barcelona coming back in this particular game. Yes, even if Barcelona is not careful, the margin might even increase more because now you are pegged back with 4 goals. You cannot want to defend. You want to go all out, and when you go all out, you leave spaces that people can exploit, and that is what the players you have mentioned. There's a particular Solot, who can come in and do damage. There's a Griezmann, yes, he's getting old, but he can still do a whole lot of damage. There's our own Ademola Lookman that's trying on us cylinder. The son of Diego Simeone is also there, who can operate from the right hand side, and Simeone has shifted back to the traditional 4-4-2. Our own Ademola Lookman, operating from the wings. And Ademola Lookman can also step up and also do the job of a striker. Remember, Ademola Lookman has the sense of also a striker. Apart from the fact that he can play behind strikers, he can also strike himself. So, I mean, with all these players playing in the second leg, I don't think Barcelona has a shot at winning, at redeeming themselves in the second leg.